No, sir. I was born and brought up in Chennai, and I'm working there in Chennai as well, sir.
Okay, good, good. So, SIVACHANDRAN, introduce yourself to the board.
So myself, SIVACHANDRAN, was born and brought up in Chennai. I finished all my academic pursuits in Chennai. After finishing my schooling, I did my CA in company secretarial. Then I was briefly practicing as a chartered accountant for three and a half years. Then I also simultaneously started the civil services preparation, sir. My parents are in the finance background, and my brother is in the Indian Army, sir.
Okay, good. So, what made you opt for civil services?
Sir, it was my childhood ambition to be part of the security apparatus in some way or the other. So, sir, I wanted to be part of the police services, and as a result of which I opted for the civil services.
Yeah. Why specifically to be a part of security apparatus? Anything specific? Does it fascinate you or something like that, or some role models?
Sir, I did have role models, but it is complex of several factors. Since I was growing up, when I started reading newspapers, it was the time when the 26/11 attacks happened. So at that point in time, I was seeing the visuals of NST commandos getting into Taj Hotel, saving people, and it kind of gave a sense of protectionism and a sense of security. So I thought it would be great if I'm also part of the security forces. And my brother too had the same passion, sir. We mutually reinforced each other's ambition. So that put me on this path for being part of the security.
Okay, good, good. So, Siva, you want to join civil services. Your background is as a chartered accountant. Don't you think that despite being a chartered accountant and an area where expertise is required and where people are making tons of money, so does the idea of leaving a money minting profession, doesn't it hit you when you thought of starting preparation for civil services?
Yes, sir, it did. Actually, within the CA profession, there are multiple extremes. Some make money, some don't make money. Some look for career advancements and so on, sir. But my ambition has been clear to be part of the security forces. And I sat for the CA examination because I needed a graduate degree in order to write the civil services exam. And also CA gave me a strong professional solid foundation wherein I felt that it can be used to be implemented.
Okay, good. So tell me, what is the difference between SPG and NSG?
So SPG means the Special Protection Group. They are responsible for the protection of the Prime Minister. The National Security Guards is the NSG, sir. It is India's elite counter-terrorism force. It is also called the Zero Error Force in our country, sir.
Are there any counterparts? Listen to the question carefully. Are there any counterparts of SPG in other parts of the world? If yes, name two such agencies.
Sir, in the US, it is called the Secret Service, who is responsible for guarding the US president. And in South Korea, it is called the Presidential Bodyguards, who are again responsible for protecting the head of the state, sir.
Okay. Surgical strikes. Why surgical strikes were called surgical strikes?
So surgery, it involves precision. So when doctors operate with organs, they need to be highly precise. And surgical strikes also provides the same precision. So it targets the impact point and ensures that there is no collateral damage and the surroundings are not affected because of such a raid, sir.
Okay. So one school of thought says that surgical strikes was merely a PR exercise. Do you subscribe to this view?
Sir, no, sir, because the government has very clearly stated that the surgical strikes were conducted in order to root out the terror launch pads that were located across the border. And there has also been few evidences which show that the operations were real. And so I don't believe that these were just PR exercises. These were raids that were conducted, credible raids that were conducted by the Indian Army.
Okay, good. You come from Tamil Nadu. There is a DMK government in power. Center has been stating that the DMK government is not implementing Ayushman Bharat scheme, which is only a political gimmick. Do you subscribe to this view?
To some extent, sir, yes, I do, sir. Actually in Tamil Nadu, with respect to the Ayushman Bharat scheme, Tamil Nadu government already had a scheme called the Chief Minister Comprehensive Health Insurance Scheme, sir. So the contention of the government is that since there is already a well-functioning scheme in the form of CMCHIS, which also seeks to provide better benefits in comparison to the Jan Arogya Yojana, Ayushman Bharat Yojana, it is better that we continue with this rather than changing the insurance procedure, sir. But when it comes to the current situation, there is tussle with respect to the Samagra Shiksha Yojana or the PM Shri schools. Here, I feel that there is more political issue than with respect to the Ayushman Bharat.
Okay. Recently, Supreme Court gave a dressing down to the governor of Tamil Nadu. Sir. What was that about? And was it necessary? Was it not a case of overreach by the judiciary into the domain of executive?
So the context was that the Supreme Court had highlighted that the governor of Tamil Nadu, he had failed to discharge his constitutional functions. The reason being that after referring a few bills after withholding assent to few bills, and after the Legislative Assembly passed it once again, he was constitutionally bound to give assent to it. But then the governor referred it to the president, which the Supreme Court has called as not in alignment with the constitutional principles, because ultimately the governor has to act on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. Sir, in this regard, sir, I feel that Supreme Court has been discharging its duty effectively. The reason being that it is very clearly given in constitutional provisions, Articles 163 and 164, that the governor is the constitutional head of a state and the chief minister of any state, as a matter of fact, is the de facto head, and the governor is supposed to act on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. Sir.
Which tax has the higher share in terms of India's GDP, indirect or direct?
Sir, I'll take a few seconds. Sir, it has been changing, sir. At present, it is the direct taxes which has predominance over indirect taxes, sir.
Statement. GST rates are decided by the Finance Ministry, right or wrong?
Sir, the GST rate, it is not right, sir. The reason being that the GST Council makes recommendations for the GST rates.
Very good. Last question. Sri Lanka. India-Sri Lanka relations have been up and down over the past few years. What is the reason? Is it the China factor or is it something else?
Sir, multiple factors are there, sir. But one prominent factor which I identified was the relations have been regime specific. With respect to a particular regime, the relations have been well. And when the regime changes, there has been problem with the relationship. So when it was the government headed by Shri Maithripala Sirisena, and then also the former government, Ranil Wickremesinghe's government, the relations between India and Sri Lanka has been better, sir. But currently, with respect to Mr. Dissanayike's government, though the outward statements highlight that a working relationship is possible, but then the proclivity towards China by Sri Lanka is always a factor of concern for India, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Siva.
Thank you. SIVACHANDRAN, yeah. Why was Tamil notified as a classical language?
Sir, there are a few parameters for notifying any language as a classical language. Tamil happened to fulfill them. Some of the criteria are that it should have an original body of language. It should have a rich heritage of literature, and Tamil fulfilled those aspects. So it was notified as a classical language. And also protecting such a language was necessary in order to ensure that the traditional knowledge was not lost.
Is this language close to any other language in the world?
Yes, sir. There are several other languages like Malayalam, Kannada, which are all similar in nature, sir.
No, I mean Tamil close to a foreign language.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of.
Okay. So now you are interested in espionage non-fiction. Mata Hari. Does this name ring a bell?
Yes, sir, it does, sir.
Tell me something about her.
Sir, she's a double agent. She spied for so many countries. She kept changing her allegiance. She spied for the French, for the Germans. And finally, sir, her cover was blown and she was executed by the firing squad, sir.
Of?
I'm unable to recollect, sir, but I think it was Germany.
Okay. Okay. So, tell me, who said something about caged parrot and why?
So, caged parrot, I think it was the Supreme Court. They had referred to the Central Bureau of Investigation as the caged parrot, sir.
Do you think that in the recent past, the CBI and ED have been, used for political ends?
Sir, there is no official policy per se that the CBI or ED is used for the purpose, sir. But being a layman, and what is coming in the newspaper is that political parties, especially the opposition parties, have time and again accused the ED and CBI, especially the ED, for engaging in activities that intimidate the opposition party. Reason being that frequent raids are being conducted, but then the prosecution against the persons who are being raided is not holding waters when it comes to the trial stage. So these factors are at times giving a shaky credibility to these agencies.
In IPS, you can one day become the CBI director also. Suppose you get an order from whosoever then is the Prime Minister to do something like that against a political party, what will you do?
Sir, CBI is basically a law enforcement agency. It is responsible for investigating issues that have national ramifications, sir. Sir, if there is sufficient evidence in order to warrant initiation of investigation, and if it comes from the legal authority, I would initiate it. Else, I would refrain from doing it, sir.
Okay, law enforcement, you said.
Sorry, sir. I think I used the wrong term.
Wrong terminology, yes. Who's the boss of CBI?
Sorry, sir.
Which agency is the boss of the CBI? Superintending and controlling authority.
Sir, it is the Department of Personnel and Training. Earlier it was DOPT and now it is the Ministry of Home Affairs.
No. Superintending and controlling authority.
Sir, the legislative backing comes from the DSP Act, the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act.
Yes. But then it nominates someone, another agency. CVC.
Yes, sir.
CVC is the superintending and controlling authority.
Yes, sir. On the anti-corruption matters, yes.
Right. So, tell me, you have such a strong commerce and accountancy background. How do you think it will come of use to you in a uniformed police service?
Sir, you had highlighted a few seconds back that I may someday become the director of CBI. CBI has a vast mandate. One such mandate is with respect to economic offences, sir. Some cases, sir, they are unable to hold ground in the courts because of weak prosecution and lack of evidence collection mechanism, sir. I feel that my learning in finance matters such as laws, company laws, income tax laws, or other financial laws will help me in collecting proper evidence so that the prosecution is able to hold the accused person guilty for the crime, sir.
Okay, what is general consent?
Sir, the Central Bureau of Investigation is a federal agency, sir. We have the Schedule 7, which demarcates police as a state subject, as a result of which the CBI per se doesn't have power with respect to the crimes committed in the state, sir. But the issues have been raised that CBI is finding it difficult to investigate cases wherein they have to gain the assent of state for each and every case. So general consent is a mechanism wherein the state has given the CBI with the consent to freely investigate without seeking assent for each and every cases.
And how many states have withdrawn?
Sir, I think it is 9, sir, but I only vaguely remember it, sir.
Okay, good. So now one last question, SIVACHANDRAN. if anybody travels abroad, even commits a small, overspeeding, exceeds the limit of speed, somebody will draw up close to him, very politely say, "Sir, you are guilty of doing this, kindly step out." Why is it in a country, for this transaction, we see the utmost brutal face of the police? If you see the lathi charge pictures, if you see the pictures wherein they trampled with the shoes upon sportspersons, protesting sportspersons, how do you think you can address this issue of police brutality? It has become a disorder, in my opinion. How can you change that?
Sir, when the case of overspeeding comes up, in countries such as US, they have body cams on the body of the police officers, which ensures that accountability is fixed on them. So when they interact with the person who has offended the law, so it ensures that they behave in a polite manner. They inform the person of his charges. But when it is in India, sir, though it is being implemented in several states, but it is not widespread. So as a result of which there is no accountability in police, sir. So that is the reason that police excesses are being committed. This is on one thing. And the second part is that, sir, there are multiple vacancies at multiple levels in police departments. As a result of which police officers are being overworked. This adds to their work burden and also stresses their working, sir. And thirdly, sir, training also matters very importantly when it comes to interacting with people. Sensitive policing is the need of hour. But due to paucity in training efforts, sir, I think the police is unable to handle people in a more sensitive manner, sir.
Do you think that the use of artificial intelligence cameras replacing policemen will be better solution?
Sir, use of artificial intelligence cameras can help in monitoring people, but then it will not be able to replace policemen, sir, per se.
See, I have a feeling that this body cam he used, people will get away eventually because they will have political patronage. The whole issue here is political patronage. And unless and until you form police board, which you missed in your answer, a police boards to prevent or define the tenure of police officers and police men. Till then this problem is not going.
Yes, sir. I get it.
If a police officer is posted as SSP or SP, should be there for a tenure. No matter what, body cam will not affect this country. Thank you very much.
Again, come back to security, your interest. Now, you must be aware that Ukraine is clamoring for security. And the whole thing is started that our security, we should join NATO. They can't join NATO. The US Secretary of State has made it very clear, loud and clear. Now, what do you think should be the ideal security condition to be put in place in Ukraine?
So can I take a few?
Oh, sure.
Sir, firstly, I feel that the issue of Ukraine-Russia special operations, they started due to the Russian mistrust with the Western nations, sir. In 1991, if I'm not wrong, sir, the US had given assurance to the Russians that they will not expand the NATO an inch beyond where they were at 1996. Okay, sir, I'm sorry. So beyond. Agreement. Okay, I forgot that, sir. So that was the assurance, but then the Western countries, they kept expanding the NATO. So this created
Russian security. I'm talking about Ukrainian security under the present.
Yes, sir. So the mistrust is the first reason for this problem, sir. It should be addressed at the outset, and there should be guarantees, legal guarantees that the NATO expansion would not happen beyond the existing stage, providing the Russians.
I'm not talking about Russian security. I'm talking about Ukrainian security. Ukraine's security. Ukraine is saying that, and has been saying that, we have to have boots on the ground to ensure that Russians do not repeat their aggression again. So what do you think that, how do you think that the security issue, which is very sensitive to Ukraine, how this sensitive issue of security of Ukraine, not Russia, Ukraine can be guaranteed?
Sir, world over, one main thing that has deterred wars is the weaponry of nuclear arms in states. But then, sir, it is not possible to arm Ukraine with nuclear weapons. The reason being that the global policies for non-proliferation.
What do you think is possible?
Sir, we need to develop people-to-people contacts and trade relationship between Ukraine and Russia, so that there is interdependency between.
They are theoretical, but it's practical. It's a long term. Russia and Ukraine has got good trade relations.
Sure.
Russian gas passes through Ukraine, which they have stopped two months back only, isn't it? So they had good relation because Ukraine is also getting benefit. So how do you think, will there be a multinational force, peacekeeping force to monitor the Russians? Should there be a buffer zone? What do you consider the best scenario? Yesterday in Paris, Monday in Paris, there was a meeting, emergency summit of European leaders. Only UK and France agreed. Germany said the time is not yet ripe. Poland says that we are nowhere here, there. So they are a divided house. So, and if Europe cannot give, that could have been the reason why Trump has kept Europe aside. So what do you think could be the realistic solution from security angle? And you, a candidate, you're a brilliant candidate. What do you think? Try to think out of the box.
So the conventional thing would be to invest more in the defense industries and also to enhance the economic strength of the nation, so that they become more resilient to such attacks and are capable of defending their interests in case of foreign aggression. Sir, basically, when the Russia launched the special operations, they thought it would be a very light and a quick raid into Ukraine, but then it has been prolonging for a long period. And the reason being, it is a deterrence effect.
No, you are not coming to my question. What should be the security situation apparatus to be put in place? You are going to history. I'm not talking about history. I'm talking about right now. What do you think? Should there be a buffer zone in the eastern part of Ukraine, in the Donbas region, up to passing through Kharkiv, up to Odessa? Or what can be? Should there be a guarantee? There should be a guarantee from Russia that they will not, go beyond that if these areas, eastern areas, are considered to them. This is the way. Nobody will put the boots on the ground. No country. So this is how giving atomic nuclear weapons will not serve any purpose. Only thing is that keeping a buffer zone, not allowing them to join NATO. They can join EU. Lavrov has said that they can join the European Union. There is no issue, but not NATO. So they will be serious. Russia will not attack, will not launch a special operation there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you nullify these things by doing this. Already there will be security, isn't it? You have not to do anything.
Yes, sir.
You have not to practically do nothing.
Yes, sir. Just
to ensure security.
Assurances would finish the resolution.
Because Russia cannot or does not believe the West. They cut the Nord pipeline.
Yes, sir.
Isn't the Nord Stream pipeline? They cut it. The Americans cut it. Minsk agreement, they said that, okay, we will not expand, you touched upon that. They did it, isn't it? So Russia will want that, okay, this is the way, I will not do it, but provided they do it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Shiva. So, tell us, how did your interview go?
It went pretty okay, sir, except for a few mistakes here and there.
Any other thing?
Sir, there were places.
Okay, we will share few thoughts. One thing is that, you know things pretty well versed in your subject, very organized in your replies, no doubt about that. The question comes out when you have to form an opinion, and that opinion to your own original, right? So that is one thing which will only come out with some little bit of study in deep. What I would suggest, go through some of the editorials and op-eds in the newspaper, right? Do you read some newspaper? I think maybe Hindu you might be reading, maybe in Chennai. Fine. Maybe what I would suggest, there's some podcasts by some security experts, and maybe one Palki Sharma also does very good Vantage on First Post. So she does it. Then there is Ravi Suri who does on defense and strategy analysis. So some of these things, short videos, these might help you. Since you keep on uttering the word security apparatus, remember one thing, if you are using some word, the board members will be more than willing to latch on to that. So more and more questions on that. So
in fact, I didn't have any idea. I didn't think that I will ask him the security question, which is very related.
Yeah.
It came out from your thing.
So be ready with those counter questions, So see, you are an absolutely fit candidate. That let me tell you very clearly. You have the persona. Thoda sa, you are very flat in your expression. You should speak out. Sir, this is my area. Sir, I want, yes, security apparatus, yes, sir, you ask me any damn question. And when you are responding to this, get involved. Flat face doesn't, I'm not saying as a critique. Like you smile only during the end of the interview. When sir is asking a few questions, you became, maybe initially you are a bit hesitant to begin with, but gradually when you gained your composure, things went all good for you, right? So whenever you have to show your energy, your passion for your subject, for like the way you replied, my brother in army, I wanted from the very beginning, I saw 26. So these are very strong statements. And when you are making strong statements, it should also be reflected in your presentation, right? So things like when sir is asking about security, he is giving you ideas. Buffer state create kar de kya? So he is already giving you a hint. Getting my point? So things like those, a little bit of study of these areas will be of great help to you. Plus you have a background in accounting. So please go through the budget very, very carefully, because there will be a lot of questions related to the budget. Because time constraint, we didn't ask too many questions related to that. So these are the areas. One, the budget and finance. And number two, your security domain. In these two things, just brush up. Plus contemporary international issues. Security figures in that. Like recently Munich Security Conference was held just 3-4 days ago, sir?
Last week.
Last week only. Last Friday. So things like those, which is your forte, grab onto that and then move on. Okay? All the best, boy. You have it, you will make it. Little bit.
I just add one thing. The answer which you know in depth. Now, SPG and Special Protection Group in South Korea, Presidential Guards. So you are solid on those wickets, okay? Leave a small opening for the interviewer so that you can guide the interview. He can't guide the interview. But, as he said, the flat-faced. You just close all the doors.
So the more you interest you show, I would have asked you, why South Korea? What is MI6? Yes. I should have asked. I didn't ask because I saw that you stopped short there. Yes. So you leave that room, so that more and more questions in your desired area comes out.
And you are confident one.
Yeah. Right?
Good.
SIVACHANDRAN, the good things first. I like people who know their mind and know their choice. Very good. 100 marks on that. Second good thing, you never tried to be politically correct. You called a spade, whether it was a question related to the governor's role, or the caged parrot, or the role of the ED, or your ethical dilemma that you were told by the Prime Minister, and you will act as per law. Very good on that. I feel that your learning is in accounts and commerce, and your heart's desire are coming in conflict, which is resulting in a flat kind of a thing. Your mind suddenly goes there. You start thinking of linking the two. And then you say, no, I am interested in police. But as a police officer, the confidence level, the voice modulation, and the presence has to be different. It has to be felt. You have to display not a brute force, but a pleasant, energetic force.
You're more like a diplomat.
Right. Yeah, it was like a flow of monotone, like you're telling me some, this accountancy algorithm.
I used to tell that my talking is like reading from a book, so you just have to be a little bit...
Be articulate.
So if you have to be first, I always tell boys and girls, you have to be mentally there. If you are mentally there, you will be there. If you continue in the confines of your books, you will continue there.
And the best part is you are very categorical.
Very
I
categorical.
want to do, it was my passion. I want to do part of the security apparatus. Story finish. You see, the word you use, security apparatus, immediately I picked up from that. So you have already finished that part. Why from CFA to this period? Getting my point? So work on these lines, and these are very strong, powerful lines, right? And this will be a great, this will be one of the assets for you. Okay? So you are coming right now, is your first mock or?
No sir, I attended a few mocks.
Few mocks earlier? Okay.
So what feedback did you get there?
This is one main feedback, sir.
Is this only? So why didn't you come out of it?
I do it, but the problem, sir, when I'm thinking, whatever, like this is my normal persona, so that is what is coming out. When I try to be more moderator with respect to my tempo of talking, I tend to lose the train of thoughts.
So you be like that. Be like that. What do you do? Maybe you can use a mirror to see your face yourself. And that will, just looking in front of the mirror and speaking out will help you. You will be able to gaze your facial expressions. And maybe you might be able to modulate your voice over there.
We are not changing, don't misunderstand it. We are not changing, we are not asking you to change your personality.
Yeah.
Okay. Be what you are. Okay. Only thing is that show your confidence level a little high. What is said? You are a police officer. You are not sitting here as a police officer. You don't have that DNA in your figure. In your figure, a police officer is sitting here.
I think you go and meet a few IPS officers. In their office.
Yeah.
In their office. And see how they behave.
We're not asking you to be rude.
But the confidence should be there. The ability to command people should always be.
Become the custodian of law and order.
See, what he suggested is very... And what he suggests is very... Go and meet any IPS officer, go to his room, just walk down, don't take any appointment, walk down, sir, I am appearing for this thing, IPS is the first... I just want to see you working for 5 minutes.
That's all.
That's all. He won't say no. He won't say no. He will remember his days.
So you are living in Chennai?
No, sir. Currently, I have shifted to Delhi for the interview purposes. So next 1 month, I'll do this.
Find out if there is any Tamil.
Go to a guy called KPS Malhotra.
Sure, sir. I'll check him out.
Okay. Have a good day.
Okay, all the best. Keep it up.
Thank you.